Hi, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Crew Travel right here on Yachting International Radio. My name is Ria. I am your host. I'm very pleased to welcome back the gregarious Lee Harris. How are you?
That's it. I'm very well, and that's a great word as well. I would like to say I know what it means, but I don't, so I'm hoping it is a nice, pleasant one this week.
It is, and I'm going to leave you to look that up later.
That's my homework for tonight.
Right? I have to give you something to do because I know that you don't do much for the rest of the week aside from, this. So I have to mention that
this is basically it. Don't tell my boss.
No, because he's not going to watch this at all. I have to mention that Crew Travel is brought to you weekly by Blue Marine Travel, who haven't lost a crew member since Lee Harris was born back in the 70s.
Spawn, we haven't.
No.
And hopefully, fingers crossed, we never will.
I know that's usually when you do, right? When you say you haven't. Right. So do a little knocking on wood there. Lots of wood going on in here. So what's going on in the world of travel? I mean, there's a lot of restrictions being lifted around the world now. And I think part of it is because, of course, we're coming into the summer season and people are starting to look at, we've had a year of just devastation pretty much across the economic platform of the world. And tourism is really looking to try and kick back up again. UK has implemented a new travel system. What's that?
Yeah, so the UK government has now finally confirmed the important step that non-essential international travel can resume as from the 17th of May. Basically, they're allocating countries either a green, amber or red status according to the risk-based traffic light system they've put in place. The full details of the requirements for travellers returning to England from these destinations can be found on the official UK government website. That is www.gov.uk/guidance. These country lists will be kept under regular review. I'm not going to bore people with the countries on each list because, as you can imagine, we'd be here forever. And to be honest, it's going to get quite monotonous and everybody's going to fall asleep. So we're not going to do that. However, head to the link that I've just advised, and this will give you a breakdown of each country and whether they are green, amber or red. What I wanted to talk about, though, was a quick summary of what the green and amber travel is going to mean for any crew who are looking for a holiday whilst on shore leave. Remember, obviously, if you're traveling back to England from work, the rules will differ because you're a seafarer and you're exempt as you're traveling for your job. However, as this is leisure travel, it is different. So for green countries, travellers will need to do the following before departing back to England. They'll need to complete the passenger locator form. They'll need to take a COVID test no more than 72 hours before departure. They'll need to book and pay for day 2 COVID travel tests. This has to be taken on day 2 after you arrive back into England. And the good news with the green countries is you do not need to self-isolate on arrival, so you're free to go about your daily business. Now, for amber countries, it is slightly different. And what you'll need to do is, again, complete the passenger locator form, take a COVID-19 test no more than 72 hours before departure. What you'll have to do is you'll have to book and pay for a day 2 and a day 8 COVID travel test. Again, these are to be taken after arrival in England. And also, very important, you will now have to self-isolate at home for 10 days after your arrival into England. With this, though, travellers may be able to end self-isolation early through the test to release scheme if they take a PCR test on day 5 and it comes back negative.
Well, it was really interesting because I had a friend from England that traveled over to France and came back, and he was saying that they are definitely on top of things. There is no sneaking your way around because the government is calling him every single day. So it's not lax. I think, 6 months ago or even 4 months ago and 3 months ago, people would say the rules were in place, but nobody was really implementing them. But England has now really cracked down and they are implementing them and keeping a very close eye on things.
Yeah, they say it certainly seems that way. I mean, I've not had the chance to obviously get home during COVID, so I've not seen it firsthand. But from the accounts that we've had, like you say in the beginning, it was quite lax. I'm not sure they had the procedures in place that they needed to have in place, hence why their cases rocketed. But it does seem that there's been a turnaround now. They do seem to be getting things in place. Like you say, they are checking to make sure that people are self-isolating at home. Which is great, and it clearly shows now. I know they've been in lockdown as well, but the numbers of COVID cases have come down drastically. Again, I know people have been vaccinated, but they have to have all these procedures in place to make sure it works. And it certainly seems to be.
Brilliant, brilliant. Now in the Netherlands, something's changed there.
Yeah, so Amsterdam Schiphol has become what they are saying the first major airport in the world to switch to CT scans. Work on the security lanes at the airport's departure one has seen the replacement of X-ray machines, which have been about for donkey's years, with a total of 21 lanes now featuring the CT scanners. The CT scans will allow them to check baggage on their screen in 3D and even rotate it 360 degrees. Basically, what this means is that passengers no longer have to take liquids and electronics out of bags at Amsterdam Schiphol security, thus meaning they're going to get through a lot quicker, especially now with extra COVID tests in place. This is going to be a godsend for people because Amsterdam's not the easiest of airports to try and transit through anyway. Theoretically speaking as well, passengers departing Schiphol can also now carry on bottles and containers larger than 100 mil. Although the airline at this moment in time are still asking people or advising them to put it in their hold luggage. Bottles and containers exceeding 100 mil are allowed, but only if it's approved by the CT scan and then also a member of security staff.
Do you think other airports are going to start taking this tact as well? Because I mean, you know, it's not just Netherlands that is seeing this backlog due to COVID. I would imagine as every major airport and minor airport across the face of the planet. Do you think that they're all going to be taking a look at CT scans?
I hope so. I mean, you know, from what I've read of it, it seems a great way to do it. You know, not just for ease for passengers and stuff, but you know, also the security side of it as well. You know, if they can then get a 360-degree scan, you know, and it's going to make it a lot easier, a lot easier. And I would imagine it's probably going to be the way that most airports go for sure.
Nice. Well, some news out of KLM and Air France.
Yeah, so this past week, KLM and Air France have given an update on their summer schedules within Europe. It's particularly good news for crew working the Med season with numerous new routes starting up over the next month or two. A brief outline of these new routes are as follows. Air France have announced from Paris Orly to and from Bari in Italy as of May the 31st, Ibiza in Spain and Algiers in Algeria as of June the 28th. To and from Charles de Gaulle to Bastia, Calvi and Figari in Italy from June the 5th, 2021. Again, from Charles de Gaulle to Tangiers and Agadir in Morocco, Monastir in Tunisia, Valletta in Malta, Las Palmas, the Canary Islands, and Corfu and Rhodes in Greece as from July the 5th. With KLM from Amsterdam to and from Split in Croatia, Alicante, Malaga and Ibiza in Spain, Cagliari in Sardinia, and Catania, Naples, and an extra flight to Genoa. These are all now operational as well, so it gives the crew traveling through the Med and in Europe a lot more options.
That's great news, great news. British Airways and Cathay Pacific.
Yeah, so Hong Kong this week announced that they're lifting the ban on UK travel, with the government citing a stabilising local epidemic situation and the relatively satisfactory vaccination rate in the UK and Ireland as the two main reasons. With this comes news that British Airways and Cathay Pacific will resume passenger services to Hong Kong this weekend. When BA operates its passenger flight on May the 9th, from London Heathrow, it will be the first since December 2020, so almost 6 months they've been off the route. Obviously, the reopening of this route is particularly good news for any crew needing to travel to the Far East and South Pacific, as Hong Kong is obviously one of the major transit hubs.
United Airlines.
Yeah, so this isn't, I am denied whether to put this in or not because it's not strictly yachting and crew related, but it's such a great initiative that United Airlines are putting on. So I just wanted to mention it briefly. Like I say, it's not yachting related, but I'm sure there are lots of yacht crew out there who know some wonderful frontline healthcare workers in the US who they would like to nominate for the tireless work they've done to protect and look after people during the pandemic. United Airlines are marking the 40th anniversary of their Mileage Plus frequent flyer program this May and are giving away 4 million miles to 4 lucky healthcare workers in its new Essential Healthcare Worker contest. From now until May the 17th, you can nominate any frontline healthcare worker in the US that embodies some of United's core values. These being making the world a safer place, showing compassion and kindness to their neighbours, being dependable and determined. Submissions will be reviewed by the Corporate Medical Director at United Airlines, as well as the Chief Clinical Transformation Officer at Cleveland Clinic. The 4 winners will be announced in June, and they will all receive 1 million Mileage Plus miles each. Now, to nominate a healthcare worker, please head to unitedessentialthanks.com.
Do you know what? That's great news. And I think probably something that a lot of airline companies around the world should consider doing, or, it doesn't have to be air miles either. It can be beautiful spas or, just anything, a break. These people have been working. We've seen pictures across the internet, stories that, they've given up their time, they've given up their lives, they've had to self-isolate from their families in order to treat the sick. And, as we see in the UK, they're when it comes to getting a raise, they might possibly get a 1% raise. They're not treated the way they should be treated, and they're probably not paid pretty much around the face of the planet what they should be paid. And it's nice to see that somebody is recognizing what they've done and giving back.
Yeah, I'll echo that comment. All we can say is thanks to these people. That what they've done for the world during the last year. It's just they've gone above and beyond what any normal human being would do. So it's kudos to them. And like you say, one airline's done it. Fingers crossed more will take it. Come on board and do something as well. Not just airlines as well. Lots of other companies. We should be thanking these people. Like you say, governments, whether they can afford to or whether they can't afford to, that's neither here nor there. These people are worth their weight in gold, and without them, this pandemic would, guaranteed be 100 times worse than what it is now. So, anybody who can do anything for these people, then they definitely should.
Guaranteed. And on a good note, we have the winner of the Blue Marine photo competition for April. Who may that be?
Yeah, we do. So for the month of April, we're going to congratulate Keith Sammaraconi. Now, I apologize, Keith, if I've got your surname, if I've pronounced it wrong. I think I've got it right, but I'm not 100% sure, but we'll go with it anyway. So Keith shared an awe-inspiring sunset photo with us. This was taken in Costa Rica on one of his many yachty adventures. And Keith has decided to donate his winnings to feeding some hungry animal friends at Animal SOS Sri Lanka. And now, for anyone who wants to find out more about the wonderful work that Animal SOS Sri Lanka do, please head to their website, which is www.animalsos-sl.com. You can also follow Keith on his yachting adventures on Instagram. His handle is Keith_Sammaraconi. We'll put it in the when this goes up online, we'll put his name on it so people can see it and not just try and take my pronunciation for it. But if there's anyone who wants to be a part of this fun and exciting competition, send us a photo you feel represents yourself and your love for yachting to sales@bluemarinetravel.com. As we say each time, winners of each month will receive a £50 donation to a charity of their choice, and the overall winner of the year will receive a £500 donation. More details and previous winners can be found on our website, which is bluemarinetravel.com/photo competition.
Nice one. Thanks, Lee. Once again, all of the links that Lee has mentioned throughout this broadcast will be put in the description below, just so that, and we also suggest that you follow Lee Harris on LinkedIn, because as I say, every single week, every few minutes, there is something popping up on LinkedIn about what travel changes are going on. And in today's day and age, when everything is changing faster than you can blink, it's kind of good to be up to date, especially if you are crew, when you are looking to head over to another country or, even vacation, whatever it may be. But anything to do with travel, I would definitely friend Lee on LinkedIn. I'm sure you've got a ton of connections on your LinkedIn now.
Do you know what? This show has done me the world of good with my LinkedIn connections, I've got to say. I think probably before they started, I had about 3.
Has it made you feel popular?
It does, it does. It makes me feel very popular. I have to go around and tell everybody how many I've got.
The next time you go to a yacht show, you're the travel guy. Right?
You're the annoying travel guy, probably.
No, the gregarious travel guy.
Yeah, that'll be the one.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of names they call you. Some of them not so nice, but you can blame me at the end of the day.
Yeah, and hopefully they'll say those ones behind my back, not to my face.
Look, I'm the kind of person that says it to your face, right? So, no need to worry on that end.
Exactly right. People should hear what you call me before we go on air.
Right? Right?
Yeah.
But see, you know what? At least you know. And there's just sort of no pretense, right?
No, I take it as love, Ria. That's what it is.
Thank goodness. You've been watching another edition of Crew Travel right here on Yachting International Radio, brought to you by Blue Marine Travel, who haven't lost a customer since Lee Harris was born back in the 70s. My name is Ria. I have been your host. We'll see you again next week.